Today we're going to run through a demo of NPK, a mostly serverless distributed hash cracking platform developed by Coalfire Labs. Before we begin, we'll verify that the AWS CLI is installed and configured. This is as easy as calling the IAM get user command with the profile we intend to use. Now that we know that's good, we'll go into the Terraform directory and rename the NPK settings file to remove the .sample at the end. Let's edit that to our liking. For this demo, we'll use the default URLs by removing the custom ones. We'll populate our AWS CLI profile. We'll supply the critical events SMS number that we intend to use, as well as the admin email address for our default user. This will be the email account that credentials are sent to after provisioning is complete. We'll save the file, and then we'll run the deployment script. What the deployment script will do is reach out to AWS and identify the regions and availability zones that we can deploy to. It will then kick off Terraform to build our environment on our behalf. This typically takes about 20 minutes to run, so we'll pause for a bit and let it finish. Perfect. We can see our Terraform output here. And if we log into the email account that we provided in the settings, we'll see that we have an invitation from NPK that includes a link to our deployment as well as the first user's credentials. If we go to sign in, we'll see that we're first required to change our password. We'll provide a new one, must be at least 12 characters in length, and then we're brought to the dashboard. Here we would see any campaigns that we would have running, but since we don't have any, let's create a new one. We'll click New Campaign. And if we drop down hash types, we'll see common ones available to us. And if we click Show All, we'll see all hash types supported by Hashcat. We can see the 3 different instance types that we have available to us, as well as which regions they're in and their prices. If we'd like to force a region, we can do that using the Force Region option at the bottom. But for now, we'll pick the G38X-large, upload a hash file that we wish to use, and then we can start building our campaign. We'll enable a word list attack, and after we select our dictionary, you can see that selecting a rule file causes the key space at the bottom to automatically adjust. It also provides an estimate with the amount of time it would take for that instance to chew through the key space. If we look at the attack breakdown on the right, it'll show us the combined attack time for both the word list and mask configurations. With that selected, we can scroll to the bottom for resource allocation, and as we change the number of instances or the number of hours we want the instances to run, you'll see the coverage estimate update automatically. We'll go ahead and select a coverage in excess of 100%, and we'll submit the order. Awesome. Let's click Start. And after a moment, we'll get confirmation that the campaign has started successfully. What's happening now is that in the background, NPK is provisioning our instances for us. These instances will go through the process of pulling down the dictionary and rule files we specified, as well as any hash files that are used as our targets. After that's done, we'll see the UI update to show our campaign as being in progress. We'll also see it update to show the status of our spot request. If there are any capacity issues, it will appear here. After a few moments, typically about 5 minutes, we'll see the first update post. There we are. So right away we can see that we have an active instance that's completed 3 of our 72 hashes, recovered plain text. We can see the performance of each node, and we can see the total progress of Hashcat relative to the time and price constraints that we've specified. The timeline shows different colors for the amount of time spent doing different things. Yellow is provisioning. We can see a cost up at the top. This is updated as the campaign progresses and allows us to keep track of our total costs as time proceeds. If we'd like to see the results of our cracking in progress, we can come into the File Management and click Cracked Hashes. This will show us the hashes that have been recovered by Hashcat so far. We see there are 3. Let's go back to the dashboard and take a look at the timeline, see if we have another update. In fact, we do. We see that the timeline now includes a bit of green, indicating that hashes were successfully recovered. If we go to Manage Campaigns, we can see details of the order that we submitted. We can see the instances that were selected, the total price that's been logged against the campaign. We can see the performance of each node, as well as the GPUs, and we can see the final status of our spot request. We can see if there was any time spent provisioning and how much time it took for NPK to recover our first successful plain text from a target hash. Let's assume that this is sufficient for our needs, the 3 hashes we recovered so far, and cancel this campaign to save on costs. We can see right away this has already been switched to inactive campaigns at this point. It'll take a few minutes to come down, but if we wish to monitor the progress during that time, we can go to Manage Campaigns and see the details here. As our campaign and spot requests change over time, the status will update to reflect that accordingly. This has been a demonstration of NPK. Thanks for watching.